Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're cutting straight through all the noise and the hype to focus on something realistic and grounded. We're talking about the actual journey of making your very first $100 online using AI. So, let's just dive right in.
Look, first things first, if you're hunting for some kind of magic app that's going to make you a millionaire by tomorrow morning while you sleep, well, you are absolutely in the wrong place. There's just no legitimate method out there guaranteeing instant money with zero effort. And we definitely aren't talking about any fake investment schemes today.
But here's the thing. Earning your first $100 is actually way more important than making your first $10,000. I know that sounds crazy, but why? Because it proves a vital concept. It proves that someone out on the internet is willing to exchange real, hard-earned money for a skill you provide. That first $100 is your ultimate proof of concept. Once you figure out that transaction, you can improve, you can raise your prices, and eventually you scale.
Here's exactly how we're going to break this all down today. 1. The paradigm shift. 2. Active AI side hustles. 3. Scalable AI assets. 4. The AI traps. And 5. Your launch blueprint.
Okay, part 1. The paradigm shift. Becoming useful, not voluminous. Let's start here, because this is crucial. AI obviously gives you incredible speed, but your understanding of the customer is what actually gives you your value.
Think about it. Because literally anyone can now open an AI tool and generate, 100 pieces of content in 5 minutes. Raw volume is just totally worthless. The new scarce resources in this economy are originality, trust, human judgment, and distribution. So your long-term strategy really shouldn't be asking how to generate more AI content, but rather asking how you can become more undeniably useful to a client.
Which leads us to part 2, active AI side hustles, speeding up service delivery. This is our very first category of opportunities, providing a direct service where AI strictly acts to speed up your own workflow.
These are highly approachable beginner services. We're talking about short-form video editing, AI-assisted content creation, social media management, freelance writing, or virtual assistants. Now, AI does the heavy lifting here. You use it for brainstorming, transcribing, or knocking out that messy first draft. But make no mistake, you are ultimately responsible for the polished, accurate final product. The client is paying for the finished result and the time you save them, not for your access to an AI model.
So the absolute key here is clarity. To succeed, you have to avoid saying vague things like, "Oh, I do digital marketing," because honestly, nobody actually knows what that means for their business. Instead, you've got to offer a hyper-specific solution. A perfect example is telling a creator, "I will identify the best hooks and add captions to turn your existing long-form podcast into 5 vertical clips." Boom! It solves a specific problem immediately.
You can really see the stark contrast between an amateur and a professional with this. You should never ever just hand over raw AI output. Instead, you use AI to craft customized, highly relevant material. If you're doing social media for a local gym, don't just post generic motivational quotes. Use AI to structure targeted workout tips, common mistakes, or client success stories. Doing this for a real estate agent? Build local market education. The AI provides the speed, right? But your deep customization is what the business actually whips out their credit card for.
All right, moving on to part 3, scalable AI assets, building long-term value. Once you've really got a handle on active services, we can start looking at these scalable assets. These definitely require more patience, but they allow you to build something once and sell it multiple times.
This category includes building targeted digital products. Think along the lines of a highly specific content planning spreadsheet for YouTubers, or maybe growing a niche website where AI helps organize your own genuine original research. You could even build a micro SaaS tool, dive into affiliate marketing, or scale a YouTube channel. You do the hard work up front, and then the asset generates value over a longer time horizon. But remember the golden rule, the goal is usefulness. Please don't just publish some generic 100-page AI ebook about gardening just because ChatGPT generated it in 10 seconds. Nobody wants to read that.
When you compare these two, the timelines and the effort required are just completely different. And this right here is the absolute biggest mistake beginners make. They try to build 10 businesses at once in their very first week. They start a YouTube channel, open an Etsy store, try freelance writing, all on the same Tuesday. It's exhausting. The smartest strategy is picking exactly one active service for immediate cash flow and one scalable asset to slowly grow in the background.
That brings us to part 4, the AI traps, what not to do.
Before you actually start building anything, we need to have a serious reality check on the traps and, frankly, the monsters hiding out there in the AI landscape.
I'm going to fire through these super rapidly because they are just non-negotiable. Do not mass-produce generic articles hoping search engines will magically reward you. Do not spam thousands of people with automated messages. Do not use AI to create fake reviews. Do not steal copyrighted material. And please run far, far away from any fake guru promising you guaranteed passive AI wealth or asking for huge upfront fees. Real businesses always involve some level of uncertainty.
Finally, Part 5. Your launch blueprint, the path from $0 to $100. Now that we know what to avoid, let's see how all this builds into a singular, actionable battle plan to actually launch your hustle.
Now, when people say start with $0, it doesn't mean there are literally zero business costs forever. What it actually means is that you must validate your idea first. Use free tiers, public resources, use the laptop you already have to prove your concept before you ever spend a single dime on expensive software subscriptions. Validation comes before investment.
So let's break down those first few crucial days. Step 1. You have got to ruthlessly narrow your focus. Pick one skill, let's say short-form video editing, and one target customer, like fitness creators. Step 2. Learn the basic AI workflow for that specific task. And Step 3. Use public materials or your own footage to create just 2 or 3 fantastic sample projects. Seriously, you don't need 50 examples. 3 strong examples prove you know what you're doing.
Next, you move into the outreach phase. For Step 4, identify businesses that genuinely have a gap you can fill. Step 5 is sending highly personalized messages showing you've actually done your homework. Tell them exactly what you noticed and how your service fixes it. Step 6, gather feedback. If they say no, use that rejection as data. If they don't get your offer, rewrite it. Just keep refining your pitch until you secure that first client and then totally over-deliver on the result.
This quote really hits the nail on the head. Ultimately, the internet is simply a connection tool. And AI is just an accelerator. Your real job is developing the ability to solve a boring, everyday problem for a client. Maybe someone needs a spreadsheet cleaned up or a presentation organized. Your first $100 comes from being the person who simply gets that done for them. So I'm going to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought to ponder as you log off and start your own journey today. Stop chasing whichever shiny new tool happens to be trending on social media this morning. Instead, ask yourself, how can I use AI to become undeniably incredibly useful to someone else? Answer that, and you won't just make your first $100, you'll build a lasting business. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Now get out there and start building.